As a viewer, are you really going to watch this? If you tuned into this stream for the first time and this was up, are you really going to stick around? Be honest. What about this one? Let's talk about it. Is it time for us to kill off the BRB screen? Is the intermission or be right back segment just a relic of a bygone era of streaming? Has my recommendation about making sure that you have one as part of your streaming loadout just wrong? We're going to be discussing this in today's episode of Stream Critique. This episode of Stream Critique is brought to you by our sponsor, Owned. Owned is a place where you can get so many stream graphics. You've got overlays, you've got alerts, webcam frames, stream banners, social media graphics. You can even build a website. What? Pretty crazy stuff. You can really take your stream to the next level. And one of my biggest complaints about streams on this show has to do with their graphics. And this is a place where you can really step that up. You can head over to eposvox.gg/OWN3D, check out their sales, check out their cool selection edit, where you can choose based on your color or based on your game that you're streaming. You can preview them in real time, and they're all customizable. So go check it out, link in the description. Let's get into the show. I'm EposVox, and welcome back to Stream Critique, my show focused on critiquing your live streams and providing feedback and tangible things you can change or improve about your live stream to make a better viewing experience for your audience and to make a better show overall. And that's kind of what we're really focused on today, is making a better show. Because that's the thing. If you are, again, I've talked before in previous episodes about the difference between going full-time as a career streamer or professional streamer or broadcaster versus someone just casually hanging out with viewers and doing, not really trying to move the platform forward. If you're trying to really, innovate and stand out and make a career, you need to be innovating. You need to be pushing the envelope, so to speak, of what is being done on live streams. And that means not doing the same thing that literally every other channel is doing. I've tweeted my thoughts a few times and tried to gather feedback because honestly, I'm pretty frustrated with the IMO stale state of game streaming on Twitch and in general lately, as there's just this, I don't know, it's just, I feel like there's not a whole lot of change and there's a lot of innovation happening on the esports side with event broadcasting and things like that. But then you go back to the individual side where all of the hours and attention is on the day-to-day streaming, and everything looks the same, and most of it's pretty boring to someone who prefers, polished content. And so I want to kind of improve that. Again, this is Stream Critique, so I do have two streamers to stream, or to critique, rather, in today's episode. And I have a couple thoughts about the BRB scene in particular, and that's what we're going to focus on today. We are going back to two streamers for this episode. We'll have more of the rapid fire critiques in future episodes. The first streamer we're starting out with is Shaver28. A lot of streamers don't say their names at the start of their streams, and when it's something that I don't know how to pronounce, just kind of have to roll with it. I tried going through a few VODs and seeing if he ever says it. He doesn't. I apologize if I say it wrong. He does some game streaming, some just kind of chill out, watch YouTube streams and just chatting, as well as music streams. He's learning to produce music and things like that, and is streaming some of that, which is pretty cool. Something different, from what people normally do, helps build a better relationship, is getting different camera angles going and things like that. His stream graphics are fairly basic, but they all match and kind of match his general personality and style, and that's pretty cool. I like to see that he's using a Threadripper processor. Heck yeah, big fan of those. And overall, whenever he is doing game streaming, his green screen use is actually really, really nice and impressive. So kudos there. Specifically though, he has a fairly unique Be Right Back screen. Now, if you are unaware, this whole thing I've been talking about this whole time, the intermission scene or the BRB screen or the Be Right Back scene is something you put up on stream to cover up and not have any camera showing, not have any, video or anything like that showing whenever you need to leave your stream. This is to let your viewers know that you'll be right back and that your stream isn't just entirely dead air of an empty chair or something like that. And I've advocated for this very heavily because I can't stand tuning into streams and just seeing an empty chair or not having a clue why it's empty. Like, that's dead air. If you've ever worked in broadcasting or radio or whatever, that's considered bad. So a band-aid to that is having something that shows on screen to let your audience know why there's dead air at the very least. And so a Be Right Back screen is that use. Now, traditionally, this can be a single slide, as some of the pre-built themes you can buy are, or it could have a video or an animated background or what have you. Well, Shaver28's stream has a music video as his Be Right Back screen. I don't think he made this entirely, I could be wrong, but I think I've seen some of it at places before with Dark Souls footage, but it's edited and involved in the Be Right Back screen itself. So it provides something entertaining and kind of amusing to consume while you're BRBing, while your stream is down. So it's not entirely dead air, it's at least something to consume. And this is a step in the right direction. Unfortunately, he only has one of these, so whenever it happens multiple times, then the viewers are subjected to the same thing, and if for whatever reason they didn't like it the first time, they're definitely not gonna like it the second or third or fourth time, so that may get off-putting to some people. But it is more, involved or more entertaining to the viewer than just a simple static image or what have you. And I really, really like to see that, and I think that can be taken in a separate direction. Now, we have another streamer that we're actually not really comparing, but involving here, who is Virtute, I believe is how you say it. He has really cool retro game streams on some of his old PC game streams. He even built a custom CRT monitor looking scene for the gameplay because it, isn't going to scale right to full screen. He's got great retro graphics. He's got a lot of stuff going for him. His stream seems fairly entertaining. His audio is a little bit boomy in some of his older VODs, but in his past couple, it sounds a lot less boomy. So hopefully he fixed and addressed that. And overall, his layout and retro-themed graphics are pretty cool. He does have a BRB screen that is animated, and it has the Yoshi eggs, and it animates back and forth and has some music, and it's definitely on brand. But even just compared to the first streamer's Be Right Back screen that has the animated music video and stuff, it's definitely less involved. Now, IMO, I would like to see streamers start taking this in a higher direction, because ultimately, especially once it's the same content over and over, this counts as dead air to a degree. Like an animated image and music is still dead air, and it can turn off viewers. And I personally actually had an experience with this that almost cost me a pretty awesome raid, which was super embarrassing. I was streaming video editing of editing my XSplit masterclass over on Twitch, and it happened to be right as the Awesome Hardware podcast with Bitwit Kyle and Paul from Paul's Hardware, and their stream was ending, and literally as their moderator or whoever manages that for them was about to go raid me, my stream went to a Be Right Back screen, and it was actually my technical issue, please stand by screen with the color bars and things like that, which is to indicate a difference of me leaving versus me trying to fix something real quick. And it was because my software was messing up, and I was trying to, fix all of that before I sent the screen up, and they almost did not raid me. And in fact, they had decided not to raid me and go raid someone else, but had apparently still sent everybody my way anyway, which is a mistake I made whenever I raided for the first time. And I just narrowly missed out on getting a raid of like 600 viewers from a fellow tech creator. I believe that was Paul? The Awesome Hardware podcast. Yeah, is that going? That's going today. Wow. Hope you guys had a great podcast, if you're even watching this part. Don't know if you just kind of rated and left. Thank you so much. Okay, I guess we rated Adam. Thank you. Is that not what you were expecting? Who were you expecting to raid? Was it not me? It was me? Then it wasn't me, then it was me, according to up to 16. Holy crap, the follows. This is insane. Because I had that Be Right Back screen up, because it didn't look like I was actually streaming video. And at a glance, that looks like your stream is off. It's off. It's not, people aren't gonna tune in, and you don't wanna send people your way. And the same thing as a viewer when you tune in. If you come in and you're stuck at that screen, as a viewer, you may not stick around to find out what is happening. You may not stick around to see when you come back. And in fact, I have that issue even when skimming through people's VODs, is I will look at a VOD, and if I get to a point where like there's a couple streamers I've gone to critique who I don't find a single point in their VOD where they're actually talking, I will skip around for like the entirety of the 4-hour stream, and I will leave it playing for a few seconds and skip around to many points, and at no point do I hear the streamer talk. And at that point, I'm just gonna move on, because it seems like nothing's happening. Even if you're playing the game, like you're not talking, that's not entertaining. The same thing with the BRB screen. And that leaves a kind of weird impression. On top of the fact that the viewers that are already there, the viewers that are hoping to be entertained, you start to lose them during that time. And I see that every time I stream. I will have an engaged, chatty audience, and things start to die down and viewers start to trail off the longer and longer a Be Right Back screen goes. However, you can mitigate some of that by making more entertaining content during that BRB stream. And in fact, this is something that the sports industry, the sports broadcasting industry, has been mastering over the past 10 or 15 years. And the esports scene is starting to develop as well. When you're watching an esports event, much of the broadcast time is probably not actually spent on the esports matches themselves, but filling in the breaks with color commentary, with interviews with the players, with going down into the floor and things like that. And I realized that not all streamers have the capability of doing that or even have anything as interesting as that to showcase because it's just them in a room streaming, but you can still create an experience that happens whenever you go away. This is also a good time to pump your sponsors. Instead of having banners that viewers can barely read popping up on your stream all the time for affiliate links that you're barely getting paid for. I hate seeing this. It's so spammy. It doesn't actually benefit you. Please stop. But instead of that, when you actually have sponsors, you can intercut with your BRB screen actual dedicated sponsor ads. You can come up with creative, funny ads for your sponsors and get those involved. You can involve them in that way. You can actually sell ad spots on your stream if you have enough concurrent viewers. You can actually just sell dedicated commercials and make money from it. This is common practice on video and podcasting even, but streamers just don't even bother. I know it's possible. I know the money's there. Streaming's a much bigger bubble at the moment compared to video for earning money from this stuff, and streamers aren't doing it and then complaining about not getting paid. Just an example. In terms of non-sponsor stuff, of course, you can cut together highlight reels, especially if you already have an editor or a moderator or you're doing it yourself, cutting highlight reels for Twitter or for YouTube or whatever. Cut up some more micro highlight reels, implement some sort of be right back notice into it and make that a dedicated scene that you can cut to in between your be right backs. So say you need to run to the bathroom real quick, pull that up, make sure that it's, showing something new every time. And your viewers get something pretty cool to watch, and people who are tuning in for the first time at least get a taste of what your stream is about. Think like a channel trailer or something like that. Go for it. You could premiere new YouTube videos or Twitter videos or wherever you're posting extra content. You can premiere that during your be right back moments. You can say, hey, I need to prep this stuff. I need to go check on something. Watch this new video with, the chat for the first time instead. Get some opinions going and then release it over on YouTube or Twitter or whatever. So to answer my question at the start of the video, is it time to completely kill off the be right back screen? No, I don't think so. I would still be very frustrated if the consequence of this was streamers just not using that kind of scene and then having dead air with just the empty chair in the video in the first place. As I started out this video with, because I was trying to be funny. But I do think it's time for streamers to start innovating. And I think over the course of the next few months, I want to showcase different ways. This is a very basic way. This is one of the bare minimums of a way you can innovate on your live stream. It's not even anything new, but new for you is to always think about how engaging and entertaining every aspect of your stream is. With commercials and advertising, every single frame, every single byte of audio is poured over to make sure that every ounce of it has meaning and offers something to the viewer to provide value to that commercial, to provide benefit to that commercial. The same thing can be said for your stream. I've mentioned before in previous episodes about how you don't want to just have your stream be on a static scene of your face in a corner playing a game for 6 hours, because your viewers' attention spans don't work that way and your viewers will trail off and come and go, and you need to have multiple camera angles or multiple different ways of presenting the stuff and cutting between just chatting for a little bit versus gaming versus showing something else off versus reacting to stuff on social media. There's a lot of different things you can do, and avoiding having just a static image or an animated image whenever you leave that viewers can be like, okay, I'm bored now, see ya, is only gonna benefit your stream. I hope this episode of Stream Critique has been helpful for you. As far as the two streamers, they're pretty entertaining. I did have some issues with the audio on Virtue, however, I believe he's working on it, or has at least fixed it in his recent VODs. His green screen is also great. Image quality looks pretty good. I feel like his CRT scene is a little too small. Like the gameplay is a little too small and hard to see, but I think there's specific reasons for that with the kinds of older PC games he's playing and with regards to scaling. With Chaver 28, I'm just going to say that differently every time I say it. His green screen is also really, really impressive. His audio is fairly balanced. It's not anything too exciting, and the fact that most of his streams over the past week, like for all the VODs I could only find clips of his older game streams. All the VODs I can find were just watching to YouTube and reacting to that. I would like to see more Twitch appropriate content, more, like that's a lot of what I would consider dead streams of just chatting versus actually playing games and doing something fun. I would like to see more of that updated, but overall, doing a pretty solid job, and these are how they relate to today's subject. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Down there will also be a form to sign up to be critiqued Keep in mind, I've been releasing this form for months. I'm actually weeks and weeks behind on the series. If you submit it, the result's there. I got it. You don't need to submit again. You don't need to remind me about it. It's there. Just keep in mind that some of your older VODs may disappear over time because Twitch only keeps them for so long. So make sure you're streaming regularly if you want to be considered. And if you're over on Mixer, you need to be saving some of your VODs, because I've had a few people from Mixer apply and then I can't actually see anything from their streams because they didn't save any VODs. So their stream account just looks empty and I can't cover you. Just wanted to add that in there. Go check us out on Floatplane for early access to videos. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.